What's up, everyone? Hi, I'm Parang from Havenspire, and I'm going to be breaking down my Amazon trade on 5th November. Before going into the trade breakdown, I would wish you a very, very happy Diwali once again from the whole Havenspire community, the whole Havenspire team, and we all wish you a very prosperous and joyful year ahead. So let's get started, and I'll be breaking down my Amazon trade, which was essentially a rising wedge short trade. So it is basically a reversal trade, and I usually don't trade reversals, but the situation demanded me to trade that thing because it was quite obvious from the structure. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing the way I looked at my Amazon trade and why I decided to short at that particular point of time, and how timing sales and level two helped me to actually get dual confirmation about the trade, and having just previous levels marked the previous day, and knowing the areas of resistance for a particular stock or areas of support for a particular stock could help you take a very quick and easy trade, provided if you have a proper trading plan and you execute properly. So let's get started, and now I'm going to be sharing my screen, and let's get straight to the chart. So this is the chart that I was trading, and this is a 3-minute chart, and this is time and sales. This is level two. For those of you who don't know what time and sales in level two is, so now when the market opened, so I was initially looking to trade this level break. So I was initially I wanted to trade a 3320 a level break, but the thing was I didn't get an entry here because this candle was too aggressive, and I didn't really want to take an entry again. I had it. I could have actually, in this initial pullback, kind of a bull flag formation, I could have got through here, and I could have played on the long side. But there was one concern that Nasdaq was getting really weak, and because of that, Amazon is a heavyweight in Nasdaq and even in S&P 500. So I was kind of avoiding any long-sided trade. Amazon had a catalyst that day. I think it was because of increased there was a rumor about them getting into the pharmacy business, and today it has actually happened that they've actually entered the pharmacy business, and they've started the beta version of it. But on this day, there was a news about them getting into the pharmacy business, and a lot of negative news is also there. Like there's some lawsuit. They did not really pay taxes to some countries. I think it was Vietnam, where they did not pay taxes, and there was a tax fraud allegation for Amazon. So it was a mixed sentiment, and Nasdaq was weak. So I was looking to play the short side, but at this moment, I was not even touching it for the short side. So I just kept it. I just left it the way it was. Now, when I was watching it, and what alerted me really was that this whole move, if you can see, it was with kind of dead volume. So now Amazon rushed from 3290 level all the way up to 3360 level. So that was a $70 jump. But what we can essentially see is the volume was kind of dead. And this dead volume essentially tells you that there could be heavy sellers sitting somewhere at the top, maybe here, maybe, somewhere even maybe at these particular levels. But I had this 3370 level in my mind. So it was a previous level of resistance which Amazon tested before. So I was looking to, trade it if it gets rejected from there. But what I observed was it was actually kind of making a pattern. And this pattern is a rising wedge pattern where the stock is, moving into a tightening range. The range is getting, tightened. And the important part here is that although the VWAP was moving, the VWAP was actually getting flattened out. So now this tells you two things. Number one, there was no volume in this move. So that could mean that this move is weak and this could have a heavy pullback. And number two, that the VWAP was flattening, like the VWAP wasn't really moving with the price. So these are two important parameters that I had to initiate a short position in Amazon. So when I saw this rising wedge pattern getting formed, I waited for this candle to actually close below this trend line. And this trend line is pretty steep. So the steeper the trend line, the more likely it is to pull back really strongly. So you can notice it in any stock, any financial asset. So this steep trend line actually, made me short here, but I actually waited. The reason why I waited and I did not really short right here was there wasn't enough volume on this, this particular candle. Although it was a solid kind of a Maribuzu candle, but I wasn't really confident, and the tape did not really show that there were a lot of aggressive sellers. And this this I was right. I was proved right here because the next candle, it actually made a big candle when it was actually getting formed. So then I thought maybe okay, it's not a good idea to maybe short it. Let's see if this gets rejected from here. So once it got rejected from here and it closed, I saw a lot of sellers hitting the bid. So what that really means is a lot of sellers are going to aggressively sell their stock. And when I saw a lot of bids getting here aggressively, so what I did is I took a short position here and I basically shorted right at this break. So once this candle was getting formed, I shorted it here. And my target was 3320 because this was a level. So this is the place at which it opened, and 3320 was also a place of previous support. So what I was really looking at is to play it for a scalp here, and I entered with puts. So I'll switch over to my executions and I'll tell you where did I execute my contracts, like at what price, what was my PNL, what was the duration of the trade. So I exited somewhere around here. So the duration of the trade was not even 9 minutes. So let's go through the executions part and let's see what actually happened. So this is the breakdown that I'm talking about. So this was a $456 profit on Amazon, and these were my executions. So this was my PNL for the day. So $1,248 was the PNL for the day, and Amazon was contributed to $456. So this was really the execution. I entered somewhere around 11.69. So this was my entry price, $11.69 for a 100 share contract, which is $1,169 as an investment amount. So here you can see 10.24, I executed at 11.69, and 10.30, I exited at 16.25. So it was a handsome 40% return on my investment. And I was able to book $456 within three candles. So my target was achieved very, very quickly. The fall was real quick, and it was because I was kind of expecting that. Another important thing, another key learning that I would want to share with you is that whenever a rising wedge, falling wedge, or any pattern is there, you also have to check volume, number one, and number two, what the structure of the overall market is. So now I was okay with this short trade because Nasdaq was getting very, very weak, and because of that, like I was confident about this trade. Number two is you can see these big candles were quite aggressive compared to this whole move which happened. Now, if you want to capture this kind of a move on the downside or on the reversal side of it, you need to number one look at the pattern. What pattern is the stock forming, and that pattern is nothing but a distribution of the emotions or the behavior of the buyers and sellers. So here the buyers were getting really aggressive, and this particular rise was essentially due to excessive buyers and no sellers. And once sellers had an area of value, they started, attacking it very aggressively. So this was my trade. I entered here after just three candles. So at the close of this candle, so this is the 1027 candle. This closed somewhere about here, and I had my order gotten filled at 1645. So if we look at what happened to the stock after I exited, the stock actually took support from this level. So this level, this is an indication that the marking of the level was fine. So it made 2 weeks and then it started to consolidate. It consolidated for a long period of time and then finally again retested this particular level. And for the rest of the day, it was kind of sideways until it broke the VWAP with volume. So you can see a rise and spike in volume. If you see the volume here, the volume is spiking here. And this level was ultimately broken, but it was towards the closing of the day. So this was my Amazon trade. And the only thing that you can conclude or you can learn from this particular trade is you can't really blindly trade patterns. Everything has a probabilistic approach in trading. So you have to see what indications are you actually seeing when you're initiating a long, short, or any particular trade. This kind of a inverted hammer pattern also showed, that there's a lot of aggressiveness in the sellers here. So this particular area, there was a spike in volume, obviously, but if you compare it to the volume in the early morning hour, this was actually dying. So this was actually moving up aggressively, but the volume was dying out. So this was my main reason where I was actually looking for this pattern. So, and after this pattern was, I could see the pattern, I could see the structure, I could see the index getting weaker. That is why I initiated the trade. So yeah, that's it from my side. And just once more, I'll just tell you that how I was able to execute properly on this trade. So this is again the execution page. Just a second. Yes. So this is the execution page, and so this was a 6 minute trade, and it does not really mean that in 6 minutes you have to always exit a trade. I exited this trade because my target, which was the VWAP, was actually it got filled. So that's the reason why I ended the trade, because my target was done and my trading plan or whatever I thought got executed real quick, and yes, then I was done for the day. So I'll end the video here, and thank you. Thank you for watching this video. Please consider subscribing. Thank you and have a good day. Bye-bye.